It's time for Pie Noon.
Hi guys, welcome to another episode of Pie Noon. And here again is my guest, Christopher Cruz.
Hi.
He works at Shazam as a data analyst. So today we're having sinigang. I hope you enjoyed making yours. And then for today's pie, we're having cherry pie. I'll give you guys the recipes down below. So let's get started.
All right.
So Chris, tell us a little bit about yourself.
Okay, well, my parents are Filipino and I'm also part Chinese. I was born in Guam. It's a small island in the Pacific, but it's still U.S. territory because my dad was in the Navy, so he traveled around a lot. And he was stationed in different places. And when I was born, we were in Guam. I moved to the U.S. probably when I was about 3 or 4 years old. And we pretty much settled in California. There was a small town called Milpitas. It's near San Jose. And that's where I grew up.
What are your interests?
I like video games for one. I like a lot of different things. But yeah, video games has been something I grew up with. Starting from Nintendo all the way to now, I'm actually playing Overwatch and having fun. I log in almost every day and then play with some friends, and it's always fun to just chat with them as we play along.
Okay. So for those who are not familiar with the Shazam app, could you, or the Shazam services, can you explain to us what Shazam is and how did you come across working there?
Okay, so Shazam has been around since the launch of the iPhone. Well, they've actually been around longer, not too many people know. Their service started with music identification. So the question was, what's that song, or name that tune? So if you hear a song playing either on the radio or when you're walking around the mall and you don't know what it is, you ask yourself, what is this song? But Shazam created technology where you can pull out your phone, tap a button, and just let the phone listen to the music, and then within seconds it'll tell you what the song is, who it's by, and even options to purchase the music if you want to. But yeah, it started off with just the feature phones where you actually text in a number, and then it records the clip, and then they'll text you back what the song is. So with the iPhone launch, it really was just made for each other. So it was one of the first apps in the App Store, and it just made the service so much better, where you can just tap the button and it'll tell you it from there.
Okay, cool. So how did you come across this job?
I actually found a job posting on LinkedIn. And I was fairly lucky because I really like music in general, but I'm not really a musician, so I can't go down that music career path. I'm a data analyst, so I work a lot with numbers, Excel sheets, and reports. But being able to find something music related, I'm not working in the music industry or music production studios, but working with just music in general as my daily job. It's really fun. I really like it. But yes, I just found the job posting on LinkedIn. I applied and was lucky enough to get a call back and an interview.
So what is your job like there?
Okay, so as I mentioned, I'm a data analyst. My key role is just make sure all the numbers are correct, and providing those reports to the executives, anyone else in the business, all of our different teams. So for example, the streaming team or the business development teams. And my main focus is just getting all the KPIs, the key performance indicators, such as how many users are coming in per day, how many users are in a month, how many people are Shazamming, and like how our partners are doing. Some of our big partners are Apple and Spotify.
Okay, cool. So a lot of people, when I mention data analysts, they think of just endless amounts of Excel sheets. So could you explain to us how it changed over time and where data is at right now?
Yeah, so data has been growing a lot, especially with the internet. And yeah, throughout school, they're talking about Moore's law, where basically Moore he was I believe the developer of Intel, and he made this observation where the number of transistors on a circuit board it doubles every year. And with Moore's law, it kind of applies to data because someone made the observation of data growth basically doubling every year as well. And it's pretty crazy. It's kind of more exponential for data growth. And I read this article, I don't know if it's true or not, but they said something about how 90% of data came from the last 2 years. And it wouldn't surprise me if that's accurate, because everyone is on with social media. Just everyone's posting something every day, and with with the billions of people in the world always posting, then that data growth I can see it just growing exponentially. So there's just a ton of data out there for us to sift through.
So back in the day, there weren't a huge growth in job opportunities in the data world because it was still pretty much a baby. So how has job opportunities grown?
Yeah, so a lot of jobs have developed just based around data. Because, for example, when I was growing up, I know a lot of data stuff. It was really just data entry, filing all your stuff, and then just paper reports. And then computers came out. Then Excel became big. But for now, it's more than just reporting off data. It's kind of using data to grow your business and just learning from all of the metrics. So there's more. So it kind of leads into data science, where people are using data to kind of just kind of forecast ahead of time what you can do better, and just use this data to just make new things, or kind of like A/B testing, where you can test out it was one thing better than the other. But using the data to forecast, it's been growing, creating all these new jobs. There's also this thing called machine learning. That's something big with data scientists, where you're creating this model and just plugging in all the data into it, and just let the computer figure out what's the best course of action.
So what is going to happen to Shazam after the Apple acquisition?
So that's the big question. So yeah, I think the top board members and executives are kind of holding the cards close. A lot of us are kind of just working as normal, like everything's just carrying on our jobs and our duties. So we're really just waiting for the European Commission to finish up their approval process and such.
What is your team dynamic like?
Let's see. So we're all very like a close-knit analytics group. It's a team of 5 of us. So there's 3 of us in Redwood City, and then 2 of us in London. And we pretty much cover like all the different aspects of reporting, and we all know how each other's job works also. So in case one person goes on vacation, the other person can take over. Let's see, and yeah, we're all like I said, close knit. So I mean, we chat with each other if we bounce off problems in case we run into anything. And then we're pretty good with communication. We have like a little chat group where we just chat daily about anything, even if it's not work related stuff.
That sounds like an amazing team to work with.
I'm gonna try this pie.
So 56% of college students who started at a 4-year college drop out by around year 6 of their college career. And then full-time students are 55% less likely to drop out of college than students who go to school exclusively part-time. Then something along the lines of 70% of Americans will study at a 4-year college, but less than 2/3 will graduate with a degree. As an immigrant myself, I find education to be very important because it was something when I first came here to the United States. It's something I've noticed a lot of Americans who are born here take for granted. They would drop out immediately without a backup plan. And to me, like, it's something I hold dear just because I fought my way to get a college education. And that's the American dream, besides, getting a house and all of that stuff. So what advice would you give for someone studying and struggling in this field?
Yeah, I agree with your points on just how important education is. I think a lot of people will take it for granted. I mean, they see things on the movie or, like the rare CEOs of Facebook or like other things. They just drop out of school, but then they go ahead and run their business. And so a lot of people think, oh, we can do the same thing. And I think they really just need to take a step back and get that degree, because really, like, once you have a degree, it opens up so many doors that people just like all the companies look for that degree, and it's like, okay, he's capable, he's gone through like the courses and he knows some of his stuff. If you're struggling with it, you really just have to just tackle one problem at a time. So if there's just try to focus on what the major issue is. Get some help, get some counseling. Your peers are very helpful too, so just bounce off ideas from them with them, or even have like some small study groups, because it's helpful to learn in a group environment sometimes, all depending on your learning style.
I feel like even in college, you're still trying to find yourself, and I feel like that whole college experience isn't about just books and learning, and it's also about networking and finding who you are as a person. Are you still going to be that party person when you grow up? Are you going to be an adult, and are you going to open your own business? How are you going to mature? Because I feel like if you drop out of school, you're not going to learn all that stuff on your own. You're just passing time, basically. So going back to Shazam, what can you share about Shazam that the public doesn't know about in terms of charities they're involved in?
Well, one thing that not a lot of people know about Shazam is we've actually branched out other than just music recognition, because a lot of people, they see Shazam or they hear about Shazam and it's all about naming the song. But we've actually gone into so many different areas. I mean, not too many people know you can Shazam TV, for example. If there's a live broadcast, for example, the Super Bowl is a big one, you can Shazam the Super Bowl. The results will pop up and there'll be different ads and such, like if you do the halftime show. There's also visual Shazamming now. So certain movie posters, for example, or certain ad spaces, you'll see the Shazam logo with the camera icon, and you can actually visually Shazam that, and it'll give you more details, more information about it.
So if you guys don't know, don't miss season 2 premiere of Beat Shazam, hosted by Jamie Foxx on May 29th at 8/7 Central on Fox. So you can also play along on the Beat Shazam app. I just want to thank my guest Christopher Cruz again for being here today, and thank you guys for tuning in. Until next time, Slice of Pie Noon. Remember, it's Pie Noon somewhere. Bye guys.